Hello and welcome to my channel, The Day Tradester. If this is the first time you've seen my channel, I record all of the trades that I make within this particular swing trading strategy, whether they're both sell and buys. We always start out with taking a look at the S&P 500 and then today's candle compared to the previous days and weeks. And today we are not having a good day. We gapped up higher than yesterday's close, so that was nice. It was a really good start, an exciting start. However, we've got the bulls winning for the direction of travel today, and it's, as you can see, it's straight down. We did find a little bit of support off of our 10-day fast-moving average, and we bounced off of that. We did break through a little bit, but ultimately ended up being support, and we've climbed back up a little bit. Hopefully, we'll stay above our fast-moving average for the day. But we did open at an all-time record high for the S&P 500. Just another example of the bull run still running. We did receive several sell alerts this morning, so we'll go ahead and take a look at those, see if we have anything to sell. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is an ETF, XLY, and that is for consumer discretionary. Couple weeks ago on the XLY, we hit an all-time high on that. But we've dropped $9 since then. Now we do have a continuation of this price crossing, the fast-moving average crossing the slow-moving average. And when we do that, or when we have that trigger, that's an indication that lets me know that I should look to sell everything we have if we're able to sell them at a profit. If we're not, then we create sell orders, and I already have a sell order for 2 of the shares. We currently have 1 share remaining of the 3, and we will be selling that at a profit. So we'll come into our active trader, make sure we're at 1, and see if we sell this at 234.58. It is not going, so we'll cancel that order, drop that down to 234.57. That is not going, so we'll look to sell market. We sold it at 234.58, and I bought that at 229.49. So we'll just round those numbers to whole numbers. So we're looking at roughly a $4 profit on that sale. Next stock we're going to take a look at is Joby. That's Joby Aviation. They make eVTOLs, and what an eVTOL is an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. They're in direct competition with Archer Aviation. So yesterday we had price move down below our fast-moving average. It had a huge gap down. I don't know what news happened yesterday that caused this huge gap down for Joby, but we gapped down anyway, and we crossed the fast-moving average. And today we have a continuation candle of that downward move. Currently, price is lower not only than the close of yesterday, but also the open. So we're hopefully going to be able to sell 11 shares. I'm maxed out with 11 shares per book. I like to have 4 books, no matter what equity or company that I purchase stocks in. I like to have 4 books, and each book is made up of 25% of the allotted shares that I calculate for that company. So we're looking to sell 11 shares. I'm going to bounce this up to 11. We're go down into our active trader, and so we'll see first if I'm going to be selling that at a profit. And I will be selling these at a profit. So let's go ahead. Whoops. Backspace that. We have 11 shares looking to sell at 1674. So from 1675 for purchased at 1588. We'll just round that to 90 cents per share for the 11 shares. So we'll just round that up to $10. So $10 on the sale of those 11 shares. Now, the 2 other alerts that we received, we will not be selling these at a profit. So we will be setting sell orders. And the first one we're going to take a look at is GM, General Motors. Everybody knows that company. General Motors is in a downtrend because they had a warehouse set on fire. They had a fire at one of their EV plants, and at that plant, that's where they store most of their aluminum. So they are a little short of raw materials So that is why GM is going down. Unfortunately, the current price of $56.03 is roughly $5 lower than my purchase price. So we will be setting a sell order for the last book of 3 shares. I already have one limit order here for one book. I have another limit order here for another one. So we have one more book of 3 shares to put a limit sell order on. So we make our way over to our watch list. And well, GM is not in the list. That's because GM was part of a different strategy. My watch list, this is what I've been using as my specific strategy for stocks for my day trading videos. I have roughly 80 shares of stocks that I have not been including in my videos. I've been doing a different trading strategy than I've been using in the videos. It's strictly a swing trading strategy, but those other 80 shares I've been doing something other than swing trading, but I'm going to stop that strategy. That strategy has proven not to be as profitable, so I'm going to include those 80 shares into this watch list. Actually, all I need to do is come here and just get account all positions. So now all of the positions that I have are currently in this watch list. The previous watch list was just strictly the shares I wanted to trade within the strategy for creation of the videos. So now we'll take a look. We'll find GM. And there's GM. We're going to right click. We're looking to sell 3 shares to 3. Now I bought the GM at $61.14. So we go to the first digit. We take 10% of the 60s place. That's going to be 6 cents. So we're going to add 6 cents to our $61.14 and make that $61.21. Excuse me, 20 cents. And good till cancel. Extended hours, and confirm and send. So now all 9 shares that we have, they all have sell orders, and they'll be there waiting until price turns back up and we're able to sell those at a profit. The last stock that we received a possible sell alert on today was TJX. TJX is a discount retailer. So yesterday, not only did we have price cross below our fast moving average, but it dropped rapidly and continued past our slow moving average. This continuation is a continuation of the downtrend of the price crossing below the fast moving average. We currently have 2 shares. We already have 1 sell order for 2 of the shares. Excuse me, we have 2 books with each book having 2 shares, and we have 1 book here ready, already sitting in a sell order. So we're going to place a sell order for the remaining book of 2 shares. So we're looking for TJX. I'm going to right click in there. We're looking to sell 2 shares. And I purchased TJX at 141.34. So we go to the first place digit, which is 100s. 10% of that is 10 cents. So our sell price is going to be set at 141.44. Good. I'll cancel extended hours and confirm and send. So now we have our sell order for all the remaining 2 shares of TJX. So now we're going to take a look at yesterday's stocks and the previous day stocks, and we even have stocks going on into last week that we have not done anything with once they hit their sell triggers. And that's because we did not have a true continuation. And as long as we don't have a true continuation or price move back up across one of the moving averages, we keep it on our list and we take a look at it every day. And the first one we're going to take a look at from yesterday is Goldman Sachs. I'll zoom in here. So yesterday, if you saw the video yesterday, you saw that I was considering selling some Goldman Sachs, but I decided not to sell the Goldman Sachs because this candle was a continuation of the downward move of the candle and price crossing below both averages, and we also had the fast moving average cross below the slow moving average. So we had all 3 things happen in the same day. So this is a continuation candle. However, Goldman Sachs has earnings next week, and they have had a wonderful third quarter with 8 IPOs that they had organized and were extremely profitable on. So I decided to wait, and I said yesterday, if you saw the video, that if price continued down, I am going to sell. And that would have been going down at any point. I don't need it to be lower than the candle closed yesterday, but it is, so doesn't matter. We are going to be selling one share. Goldman Sachs, I currently have 3 books. Each one has 1 share. We currently have 1 sell order, and we're going to sell both shares that we have. So we're looking to sell 2 shares of Goldman Sachs at 776, and I will be selling both of those at a profit. So 776, and my profit, my purchase prices were 744 and 768. So that's a profit of 40, roughly, we'll just call it $41. The next stock that we're going to take a look at is Lam Research, which is LRCX. Zoom in here. So Lam Research, 2 days ago, we had price move below our fast moving average, which is a trigger. When I receive a trigger, the next day we receive a possible sell alert when it's crossing down, and we did receive that. Now it opened up significantly lower, or a little bit lower than the close of the candle, but yet yesterday's candle move all day was green, and when we looked at it yesterday, price was already above the close of the candle, so we did not sell any Lam Research because this is not a true continuation candle. And in order to make a sale of any shares, we want the continuation candle to confirm the actual movement is down, going the same direction as the actual crossing candle, and we did not have that yesterday. We do have a red candle today, but price is still higher than to yesterday's close. As long as price is higher than the close of the candle that actually crossed the average, whether it's the fast moving average or the slow moving average, that is not a true continuation, and that is not confirmation that the trend is moving down. So Lam Research will stay on our list. We'll take a look at it tomorrow, and if price is lower than the close of the crossing candle, then we'll look to sell 1 book. And right now I have 20 shares, and 1 book in Lam Research is 10 shares. So we currently have 2 books. So another stock that we didn't do anything with, if you've been watching my videos, is AppLovin. The past several days, we had price had a drastic move down because Bloomberg had released a report that the SEC was investigating the Lam Research for the way that they, for possible violations of their contracting agreements with their business partners. The next day, we did not have a continuation of this move, and I'm glad we did have a move back up, but unfortunately, we've definitely got to move back down, and to prevent any more further bleeding from this big move, I'm going to go ahead and sell. I currently have 2 books, each one with 3 shares, and I have 1 additional share sitting here that made an incomplete book. And the reason I would have 1 incomplete book is I just didn't have enough money when I made the purchase to purchase a complete book. Now, even though we have price cross below the fast moving average and the slow moving average on the same day, and even though we have bad news, I'm still going to play the strategy that I have in place, and we're going to sell 1 book for the cross of the fast moving average, and we're going to sell another book for the cross of the slow moving average. So we're looking to sell 2 of the books. So let's zoom in here so you can get a better look at what I'm talking about in case you're looking at it on a small screen. So here's the candle that crossed 3 days ago, both the fast moving average and the slow moving average on the release of that news by Bloomberg. And now we've got 2 following days that we had price moving back up, but we absolutely have price moving back down. So we're looking to sell 6 shares. I will be selling these at a profit. 3, 4, 5, 6 shares, and we're looking to sell at 601.72. And we did at 601.72. Now I bought 3 of these at 5.38, and I bought another 3 at 4.39. So my profit is roughly, and then that's 3 shares each, so that's 6 shares. So with the 3 shares that we bought at 5.38, we're looking at roughly $186 total. And for the 3 shares that I bought at $440, we're looking at $480 in profit. So combined, we're looking at roughly, we'll just round it to $660 in profit on the sell of those 6 shares of AppLovin. So if you've been following my trades and you decided to make a purchase of AppLovin, if you were able to, and you purchased back here, then you are enjoying, as I am, some pretty significant gains. That's if you choose to sell. I've got 2 more to look at, but I know I'll be selling these at, I'll be placing sell orders. I will not be able to make a profit. So I'll go over these. Typically, I only like to do 2 sell orders per video. So if you're new here, you're going to get a 3rd one, and the 4th one I'll do off camera. So Cintas, they are a uniform supply company. They are not just here in the United States, they are a global company. So as the rest of the world develops and businesses choose to be as professional as they can be, they might be using Cintas's services. So at any rate, we're looking to place a sell order because not only did we have price move below both moving averages, we had the fast moving average yesterday cross below the slow moving average. And at that point is a trigger to sell everything that I can or place sell orders on everything that I can. I currently have sell orders on 8 shares, and right now I currently have 3 books, so each book has 4 shares. So we're looking to place a sell order on 1 more book, which is 4 shares. So we'll come in here, we'll look for Cintas, right click in our watch list, looking to sell, and we're looking to sell 4 shares, 2, 3, 4. Now Cintas, I purchased Cintas at $224. So in the hundreds place, we have the 2. So we take 10% of that, which is 20 cents. And I add 20 cents to my purchase price. So my sell order will be set at $224.56. So that's $224.56. Good till cancel extended hours, confirm and send. So now all of our shares that we own are now sitting in sell orders waiting for Cintas to return and start moving up in value. And that way we'll be able to sell these at a profit. The point of me showing you my swing trading strategy is to inspire you to enter into the market. And you'll see that we are acting as long-term investors. We're looking to hold stocks and only sell at a profit. If we're not able to sell at a profit, we'll just hold it. And for as long as we hold it, most likely we're going to be collecting dividends. And in the case of Cintas, their dividend is not large. It's only 1% annually, but it's money that we're receiving while we're just waiting for price to turn back around. And at some point, it most likely will turn back around. So my strategy in these videos, in this swing trading strategy, is we are acting as investors. I'm only swing trading and day trading within the group of stocks that I've chosen to hold long term. Now the last stock I'll be placing a sell order on, but I'll do that off video, is Yum Brands. And you can see they are in a big downward trend. They're on a slide, like the game Chutes and Ladders. It takes a while to climb these ladders up, but once we hit that slide, we just slide rapidly down. I'm going to go ahead and expand this out, and you'll see that price has taken out, it's reached from all the way back from, so all the gains from September 4th have now been wiped out by this downward move. So we have a 6-day move has wiped out a little bit over a month of gains. And that's how the market works. So be prepared for that. If you're new to the markets, be prepared that it could take a while for you to make some gains, but 1 day, 2 days, and in this particular case, we're looking at 6 days to wipe out a month. And at earnings, you can have one earnings call in 1 day wipe out almost a year's worth of gains or even more. And that's a little devastating to see, but that's part of the market. So if you're in the markets, you got to keep a cool head and ride the roller coasters up and down. All right, we do have some possible buy alerts that we received today. We're going to take a look at only one of them because I know I will be able to buy one, and that is HPE, Hewlett Packard. We have a cross of the fast moving average above our slow moving average, and this is an indication that I want to max out. I want to get as many shares that I have allotted for this particular company. And for HPE, I believe it is 8. No, it is 28 shares for HPE that I want to own. So we're going to look to purchase 28 shares. And the current price is at $26.08. We'll go to 26.09. And we've got our 28 shares. So 28 shares at 26.09. In case you couldn't see that. So I need to try to remember to zoom in or just save a smaller time frame, or at least the value of the days. Right now I've got it set. This is a 3-month chart, but on a 3-month chart, depending on what screen or television you're viewing, it would be hard to see exactly what's going on. So I might change it to a 1-month chart or a 2-month chart, just so you can see things clearly. So in case you couldn't see it, we have the fast moving average crossing the slow moving average, and we absolutely have continuation today of price moving up and higher. So that is why we bought HPE. And again, crosses are usually a indication that the trend might be changing. Again, I'll expand and you can see where we had a cross here, and it did go down for a little bit before it turned back around, and then it crossed on August 13th. So if you saw my video on August 13th and you chose to purchase with me HPE, then you are realizing some gains. If you didn't see it and you waited a day or 2 or 3 or 4, you can even wait 5 or 6 days. As long as you're close to the cross, it's not a bad opportunity to buy into almost any stock. It's not a given. There's plenty of times, like you see here, it crossed down, but it did not go for an extended period. It just turned right back around. And it could do the same for when it crosses upward. It can cross up and then it just turn right back around and go down and just continue down for days and weeks and months. But Hewlett-Packard is part of the computing industry. They make computers, and they are definitely going to be a beneficiary of all of this AI build out and compute that's headed our way over the next several 5 or 10 years or more. I mean, we're possibly at the beginning of a huge, massive industrial revolution, and that's why I've got 28 shares. So if you are new to trading, if you're just now getting into trading and you are able to purchase some shares of Hewlett-Packard, it might be a good idea for you to do some research and decide if that's what you want to do. Now the other 2 stocks I'll just show you quickly. NRG. We are not purchasing because even though we had a trigger to buy, price is moving down, and the other stock is EMR. We received a possible buy alert here when we had price cross. It opened higher, except it's been moving down again. Again, it doesn't matter which direction that we are making the trade. We want the direction of travel to be in a continuation of the actual crossing candle. And both EMR and Energy is not in that affirming situation. So we're going to look at yesterday. We had some stocks that we couldn't buy, but I believe we can today. And one of those is Palantir, PLTR. And we couldn't buy it because we didn't have enough money. And we received an alert yesterday because we had price move back above and close the fast moving average. We had continuation, but we could not afford any stocks. We ran out of money, but we absolutely have a little bit of money left from our sale of mainly AppLovin, because that was a $600 stock and we sold 6 of those. And I just made some trades on our day trading activities, so I'll need to take a look at those, and I might need to buy back in while I'm making these videos. All right, now with Palantir, I like to purchase 8 shares per book. And if I have 4 books, that would be 32 total shares. I currently only have 8, so we're looking to purchase 24 shares of Palantir. So we're going to drop this down to 24. And again, we have a clear continuation of the move, and Palantir has been in a long upward trend. They've been in an upward trend for years, and they're expected to be in several more years of most likely an upward trend as well. So I need to backspace out of here. Don't know how I got to 33. So we want 24 shares of Palantir, and hopefully we'll get these at 187.40 something. So at 187.40, we got 24 shares of Palantir. Now, one thing that I want to make sure that anytime we have a continuation and we're back above the fast moving average and we have price moving back above the fast moving average, then I want to cancel any sell orders, because this sell order at 189.09 is significantly higher, and we don't want price to, maybe it's possible that in the next hour or the next 30 minutes, or it's 322, that price can zip right on up and capture that. We don't want to sell any shares if we can avoid that when price is above the fast moving average, or more importantly, when the fast moving average is actually above the slow moving average. But that was a day trading sell order. If you're new to my videos, every single stock I have, I day trade every day, or at least I try to. And that price, I had tried to sell some Palantir. I made a purchase, but the price moved the opposite direction. I wasn't able to sell it at a profit, so we were holding on to that. So now we're going to cancel that, because we now are in a positive move back up. And that is the part of my strategy, and that applies to every stock. All right, with that, we've got another one from yesterday, which is Arista Networks, ANET. It is a $158 stock with Arista Networks. I like to have 16 total shares when I'm maxed out. However, 16 shares will definitely put us over the 1,200, so I'll drop down to purchasing, instead of 16 shares, we'll look at making 12 shares. Current price of 160 at 12 shares would put us over. We don't have enough money for that, so we're going to look to purchase 8 shares, and I believe we can do 8, so we're going to bump this up in our active trader to 8 shares, and should be able to get that at 158. Nope, so we'll get one book at 4 shares. Drop this down to 4, and we've got one book at 158.40. So we have one book of 4 shares, increasing our total shares to 8 of Arista Networks. So I've got one stock that I would need to buy back in when the price hits the correct price for my day trading. So that is 170. We'll just round that to, well, 177. We'll round this up to 770. I got roughly $600 to purchase an additional stocks if I can. So we'll take a look at those. That's still left on the list from our previous days. So looking at my list, it looks like CrowdStrike, just CRWD. And we'll zoom in here. You can see that we had price move back above our fast moving average. Actually, I've got to go back further. So we had price close below our fast moving average. However, on the continuation, price was already lower than our purchase price, so we didn't make any sales. And then the 2 days after that, we actually had price move back above and close above our fast moving average, and we had continuation. However, when we had this continuation candle, I didn't have enough money to make a purchase of CrowdStrike. And I'm finally making a purchase based on this move. So I always want to make, if I have the money, we're looking for a continuation move. Now this, even though this candle dropped down and crossed the fast moving average, yesterday's candle was not a continuation of this particular move. And had it been, we would have looked to place a sell order because price is already lower than our purchase price. But we do not have a continuation. Yesterday, it would have been nice to purchase CrowdStrike, but I had spent all the money I had on more frequent or more current stocks crossing either the slow moving average or price crossing back up. So we are already looking at 4 days away. Oh no, 6 days away from the actual confirming candle of this particular cross. So I want to buy as close to the cross as possible, but now that I have extra money, we're going to be purchasing CrowdStrike now because it's not ever too late to buy a stock as long as the market's going up or the particular stock is going up. And it's $507, so this will be the only stock that we buy. I cannot max out because, as I said, I need roughly $170 to buy back in when price hits ARM. So we're going to purchase one share at $507.50, hopefully $507.50. And we did, so $507.50. CrowdStrike is an online security firm. So we're going to go back. We are finished all of our sales and we're finished all of our purchases for the day. So we're going to go back to SPX, which is the index to the S&P 500. And you'll see we've lifted up off a little bit more off of our fast moving average. So a few of our stocks, or a few of my stocks, have gone up a little bit. And now that ARM has dropped a bit, it's time for me to purchase that day trading stock. But we are finished all of our swing trades for the day. So now taking a look at our chart of the day, UiPath. Excuse me. Start over. So our chart of the day is UiPath. They had a gain of 18.5% today. So go into our 2-minute chart, 1 day, 1 minute. I don't know why I keep saving the 2-minute, but it doesn't come up. Okay, come to our 2-minute. Okay, so you can see that from the opening from 1648 to 1855, that's over $2. That was for this stock an 18.5% gain. Now I have owned UiPath. Let's go take a look at our 1 year, 1 day. We're going to have to go back further than 1 year. Let's go to 2 years. Let's do 2 years. The daily time frame is too small. We're going to have to do 2 years, and let's just do 4 days and see what we get. So I bought UiPath back here when it was $20 and $23. So I've been holding on to it since March of 6th of 2024. So it's been a year and a half that I've been holding on to UiPath, and it looks like it finally might be turning around. Now, this was way back when I was starting to build my strategy, and it was before I had put in place sell signals, whether it be the price crossing below either the fast or slow moving average, or price itself moving across a slow moving average. So the current strategy that I have in the videos is something that I've been working on and building over time, and I'm still working on my strategy. There's always room for improvement. I do have ways to improve the strategy, but I want to keep things simple for people who are just now entering the markets or who are thinking about getting into the markets. That's the whole point of my videos. So I don't want to overcomplicate anything. But this clearly is an example of my strategy on how I do not sell anything unless I can try to sell it at a profit, because I am looking at owning UiPath for decades. So I have no problem holding on to it as part of my investing strategy. Not my day trading strategy, but my investing strategy. So let's go back to our 1 day, 1 minute. Go back to our 2-minute chart, 2-minute time frame. Get there. All right. So UiPath, as you can see, they had a great run today. UiPath is a company that designs, develops, manufactures agentic software solutions for companies to automate their business processes, their tasks. And with AI blowing up, they're probably just going to blow up along with it. That's a common refrain here recently is, if it has to do with AI, it's probably going to be huge, and you may want to get in on it. We do have somewhat of a divergence between our moving averages and our MACD indicator, though. And not only the MACD indicator, we've got a divergence with the RSI. Here you can see from this point forward, right around 3 o'clock, UiPath kept slowly going up, or almost, they kept going up slightly, while the MACD, the volatility of price, started going down, and the RSI started going down. Now, both indicators measure the strength of price action and momentum. The MACD more closely measures the direction of movement compared to the RSI. And the RSI is an oscillator that measures the speed of the change of price. And the RSI, you look at a range bound zone, and if we go above 70, then we are considered overbought. And if we go below 30, then it's considered oversold. And some traders use both the overbought and the oversold as signals to buy and sell stocks. They would be buying at the oversold and they would be selling at the overbought. But if you look here, if they would have done that here, they would have lost out on the rest of the run for the rest of the day. So that's not this. Some traders use it pretty religiously as part of their trading. I use it as a piece of information. What I've found is that just because it's an overbought does not mean you should look to sell your stock, because it could stay overbought for weeks and months. And the same thing is true of oversold. So these to keep my strategy simple to help you, I think the moving averages, the MACD and the RSI are a great place to start. So if you don't own UiPath, you may want to consider purchasing that and be ready for the long haul. So we're going to go back to our 3-month, 1-day chart. We're going to go back to the SPX S&P 500. And you can see that we closed at $6,735 after opening with an all-time high. Today, our actions, we did a little bit more today than we have the past couple weeks because the market's just going up. So as long as the market keeps going up, we don't really have a lot to do. When this turns around, we will have quite a few stocks to sell if it starts falling over. Hopefully it won't be in one day, but hopefully it'll be over a period of days and weeks that it slowly turns around. But that's usually uncommon for the stock market. So we sold XLY, Joby, and Goldman Sachs. Wrote sell orders for General Motors, TJX, CTAS, and Yum. And I bought Hewlett Packard, Palantir, Aristanet, and CrowdStrike. So if you own some of these, you may want to do some research and consider selling them yourself, or at least reducing your position. If you do not own any of these, you may want to do some research and decide if you would like to purchase some of these as well. But no matter what you do, make sure you do your own research. Do not depend entirely and solely on me. I am profitable. Then we can make profits together, and we could build a quality trading community. All right, so now we will take a look at my realized gains and our portfolio performance. All right, here looks like we only made $181.24 according to Charles Schwab Accounting. But when I transferred all of my assets from this account to the new account, all dollar values of purchases turned to zero. So when I deposited all of those assets, App Loving being one of those stocks that I transferred over, the price of the stock at the time of transfer was significantly higher than my purchase price, but that price was higher than what I sold at today. So as far as Charles Schwab is concerned, I lost money on those stocks. But I did not. I sold them at a profit. I sold them at a significant profit. But we will just stick with this $181, even though in reality I made close to $700 or $800. Again, I do not sell stocks at a loss. And I'm hoping that if you choose to follow me, you also do not choose to sell stocks at a loss. I'm hoping to help you start a retirement account and hold on to stocks. And if price falls, then those are stocks that we will hold on to. This is for decades of growth, not day trading growth, not swing trading for profits growth. This is swing trading and investing to change your life over time. So again, it looks like I made just under $200, but I really made over $800 today. Year to date, I opened this account on August 19th. My performance in this account is at 9.33 compared to the S&P 500 at 5.53%. All of the assets in this account came from the old account that I closed on August 8th. I closed on August 19th, but the performance is year to date. Oh, I did realize today, oops, that these actually aren't to date. This is the day prior. So all of the performance metrics that have been in my videos, I've known about it. I just didn't inform you that this is not to date. It's to the prior day. It's always one day behind. So this big move, we had a red candle today. This big move is from yesterday, from that candle. And you can see this down is from that candle. And you can see that this little bit of up is from this candle. And then you can see we went pretty much just level. And here we are at a little bit of level. So I've known about it. I just didn't tell you. It never crossed my mind to inform you that when we're looking at my portfolio performance, it is not to date. It is to one day behind. At any rate, the old account, up until the closing of the account, I was performing at 16.2% to 6% compared to the S&P 500 at 10.54. And when we combine these two, my total performance, not to date, but to yesterday's date, is 25.59% compared to the S&P 500 at 16.07%, which means I am outperforming the S&P 500 by 9.52%. So whether I day trade and I sell a stock for a penny, or I sell it for 2 cents or $1 or 3 cents or 10 cents, it all adds up, and it is improving vastly my performance over the S&P 500. So with that, if you find my videos useful and they're giving you good, solid, trustworthy information, please like, share, and subscribe. Help me build my viewership, help me build a community, and help me get the word out and inspire people to open a retirement account or to figure out a basic strategy to begin a profitable road of within the trading industries. So thank you very much, and I hope you have an awesome, amazing rest of your Thursday afternoon.